Hi everyone, this is me again. In this video, we're gonna continue with the application that we are going to finish on Node.js. But being honest, I will just like I did before. You remember with the elimination, I copied just part of the code, just like the structure, and then I tested it because I will tell you one thing. It's good for you to learn to manage the anxiousness. If you learn to manage the anxiousness, it's much better than being like super productive. A person that is super productive but is always anxious can have problems in his life. For example, let's say that my mother called me and I answer kind of rude in a certain way. Sometimes it's because I feel anxious because I have too many things to do and I don't know how to manage my anxiousness. And for you to manage the anxiousness, sometimes you have to isolate things. What does mean isolate? Isolate means to take the things that corresponds to each thing and give it the space that it corresponds. For example, this is the dental brush paste. Okay. Now, how do I know the name, for example? Because on my mind, I relationate dental with the tooth, which with the dental structure, tooth or teeth, from the teeth paste, because it's a paste. I mean, it's something that is like a paste. It has the structure of a paste. If you hear the knock of the door, it is on the other side to my brothers. Okay, what I was saying is you have to take everything and put the structure that corresponds to it. For example, did you see this? This is another kind of paste, but this one is to cook things. This is butter cream. I and trust me, that's a name that many people does not even know, and they sometimes are, for example, very good at English and even native speaker English from English, and they don't know the name of it. This is butter cream, okay? Butter cream and dental paste. Butter cream, dental paste. Now, what happens? When I am developing, I have realized that putting the code where it should be is kind of sometimes a job. Believe it or not, that's a job. There was a time that I was working on an enterprise, and on that enterprise, I had to be just modifying the database schemas. And being honest, it was just like to modify such kind of little things on the code. But just because of that, I was winning a lot of money because I was very detail oriented, and I didn't get dumped easily. Why? Because I know how to manage myself. Same things happen with the code. If you are not desperate, but you work always one step after the other, and you work fast, as fast as you can, but not like if you're running in a race or something like that. No, no, no. Just as fast as you can, because you can be running always, because there will always be people that are going to be faster than you. There are times that you also will have to walk, or you will have to rest, and that's part of the life. If you don't learn to manage the anxiousness, that is going to lead you to depression, for example, and many other things. Okay? So after that, this was kind of the introduction. The introduction. Now let's go to the code. What I'm going to do is to divide my task in certain group of tasks. I'm going to take here this space where I wrote something on Chinese, a little two paragraphs in Chinese, in Pinyin. Now I'm going to write down here my task. I won't use the computer because I want them fast. Okay. First task is simple. Is to open the app and to make sure that everything is stable. To make sure that everything is stable. sure that everything is stable. To make sure that it is stable, because let's just not make it this more complicated than it should be. After I open the app and I run the Node.js and I see that everything is stable and I see the app running, after that I will just look for the code that is that is for the saving. This time we're gonna add a task. Okay, I'm gonna look for the code that is for the saving. I have two options. I can go back to another code that I wrote before that I have that saves an item, or I can look for the source on internet. I always like to look for the source because when you copy code from you, um, I don't know what happened, but it is like if it is weaker than the code that is on internet. If you find a code on the internet, usually it's a code that is like more supportive than the other ones, even than the one that you have. So if it is a good code that you find on the internet, that's better. So second task is simple. Look, second task is to look for the code for the petition code. Let's put like that. Petition code. Petition to what? Petition to the API of MongoDB. After I have that code, what I have to do is modify the code and to create like the structure that corresponds to it. Let's put that task over there. Three, modify the code correctly. And then you will say, well, Reynald, you just want to make large your days and you're putting excuses, blah 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 blah. I will tell you one thing. You can learn to manage your anxiousness and be a very, very happy person when you get old. Or you can be a goal oriented person with anxious, and when you get old, you will be very, very sad in certain ways, sadly, because you will always have like an empty mind. You know from where comes the emptiness? The emptiness in life comes from confusion. And if you don't know how to manage your anxiousness, what will come to your mind? Confusion, soon or later. And when you're old, the sad part is that confusion, even though you are more experienced, even though you have more years, confusion is one of the most dangerous things that you could have when you get old. So it's better that when you are young, you are kind of slow, but you are efficient rather than fast and confused. Because when the time comes when you forget or you are struggling in your mind because you don't remember things that you always remember them, then you will realize and you will say, "Oh, it's because I'm getting old." And the reality is not that. It is not that you are getting old. The reality is that you didn't manage your anxiousness, your falling in life. You have to learn to how to fall and wake up in a slowly way. If you don't learn to how to fall easily and wake up in life, you will always be falling and waking up like if it is not. Oh no, 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 that's normal. And you will go, 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 go until the moment that the life and the age is going to tell you, hey, you are old. You are not as young as you think. You have to manage the anxiousness first, and after you learn to manage the anxiousness, the falling, the the sadness, when you learn to manage that, then you will grow and grow and grow and grow in mind and in stability and and in production also. You would be like, for example, just to finish, I had a psychologist. She was a female one. She had like 60 years old. I don't know, but she looked like if she had 30 something. And she also was very, very, very good because she was super experimented. And she also, one day I asked her, but Madame, why are you still working as a psychologist if you are old? And she told me, because I feel that I can continue. So you remember always that. Respect the limits in life, even though those limits are going to make you weaker in front of many people that are proud of themselves. You don't be like that. You have to be humble. Remember, love Jesus Christ, love humbleness. Okay, let's go with this. I'm gonna go and open this. Let's go here. Okay, CD students management. Let's go now to the Mongo DB Atlas. Let's go to the signing. Let's go to the email address here next, the password. Many people say, "Oh, you are not the one who are making this," or "Oh, you have a friend making this with you." I will tell you one thing. In certain way, I am not kind of alone. I have never been alone, but I don't have someone else making the things for me. That's a lie. That's a lie that someone else is saying. I don't know who he is actually, but that's a lie. Okay. Let me see. Which is the email? Yes, that one. Let's just ignore that then. Let's use the SMS. I don't have much time right now. And I will tell you one thing. You should always have like a friend that you can count with. If you are like that, you will be kind of 44, 12, 28. If you do stuff, if you have a friend that you can count with, you will be like, um, you will feel like security in your life. And it's not that he's your guard or something like, no. It's not like that. It's just that he's just like your support, even in your mind, that will tell you that life have like a sense, even though others see you in one way, others see you in other way. Your friend is kind of the only one that friend is. If he is the kind of friend that I'm telling to you, he always will see you like the same person. And if you have a problem, he will always tell you the problem clearly. And if you have, I mean, you always need that kind of friend that keeps you like on the right track. If you do so, that is going to help you because it is written in the Holy Scriptures. Two can more than one, because if one falls into a pit, how then he will go from it? Amen. And also it says, um, two can more than one, because uh, how bad would be the luck of the one that is alone? That's another proverb, and it's true. I mean, being alone is like playing chess, for example, and it's like like if you were a pawn that is alone. You know what is a pawn, right? Yes, you're like a pawn alone. Let's go down here and let's localhost And you can see that here it will run normally because actually I haven't done anything new. In the last video, you saw that I fixed the this interface, and being honest, I'm very happy with this interface. It's not the best. Trust me, I can make it super, super, super cool, but it will take a time, and I will make it slowly. Okay. You see this title of the task and this type of the task? Let's make the addition. Okay. When I say addition, I feel bad, being honest, because I feel like if I am saying that I am addicted, and you know that I am a champion on chess, but it doesn't mean that I am addicted. I'm not addicted to chess. Yesterday I played like 7 or 8 games, and I won like 4 or 5 games. Yes, believe it or not, I always win more than what I lost or what I lose. And the interesting part is that almost always when I say this is the last game that I'm going to play, I just say that, and it's like that. It's like sometimes it can lose. It can look like if I am losing and I don't mind about it. I just say I will play this one last, and that's it. And sometimes I win, and the most time I win, and the other times I lose. But I take in consideration every time that I lose, and that's it, and those things. Okay, I'm going to close here. We're not going to make anything on the styles. The styles are not gonna be touched by us today. Okay, just see for example, we are retrieving the data. We are making the elimination by this span here. I'm going to make the same thing that I did here with the span of elimination. You see? And I'm going to go up here, and on the add, I will just paste here and I will change that eliminate to add. I will just move that add, and that's everything. Now you see that okay, you see that delete here instead of delete is going to be add. And another thing that we have to do is that you see task number I, instead of the number I, we're gonna put the task ID. How we're gonna get that? That's kind of a good question. But there is not that's not complicated. That's being honest, that's even easy. We're just going to take this and to put it on the and quotes, and in there we're gonna put task ID. And from that task ID, we're saying that we are choosing task where the task ID is the number of the task, and we are choosing the task ID. And that's as simple as that. As simple as that. Now we can even refresh here. We can go now. Let's see if it throws an error. Remember that it is possible, but it didn't throw any error. Let's refresh and let's see. Yes, now it throws an error. And it says that on the final task ID. And I was expecting that. Yes, believe it or not. What I'm going to do is to, let's see, what I'm going to change. You see this? I'm going to change that to columns, normal columns like this. And this might fix the error, but for us to make even more um, sure, let's close this on here and put this just like this. Let me see. Mhm. Okay, did you see that red color over there? That's not a good indication, being honest. Um, but it might not mean exactly an error. Let's see. I'm gonna refresh, and also I'm going to refresh on the page, and we got the same error. Okay, and yes, the code was modified. So what I'm going to do is just to erase here, and that's everything. Let's try now. Now it doesn't have any color, but it is possible that it works. Okay, let's see. No, it didn't. Let's just see something. I'm going to make a like a script over here, and I will say that I want to see what those task brings. Oh, I know what is the problem. But okay, let's just try because maybe it's not exactly what I thought. Okay. Node index. Let's refresh, and now it's normal that error. Okay, we're gonna go to the console and we're gonna see one thing. Let's see if here. Okay, it says that it does not respond on the server. It means that apparently this thing is interrupting the server to run correctly. Let's now refresh again, and it says internal error. Oh, the problem is that this cannot be commented. And there we go. I have to free up the space of my computer. And as you can see, I got another error, and it says the task is not defined. And that was expected by me. So what I'm going to do is just to you see for example this this special character here. That is what maybe I am missing, believe it or not. So I'm going to put here this thing percentage equal percentage enclosing, and just um let's just put that on the HTML, okay? Because on the JavaScript it does not work correctly. Okay, here we got the object. This is the object that I want to modify. Okay. Let me see. Title to review. Task ID number 5. Task ID. Okay. Okay. I know what is the problem. The problem is that when we are showing the task ID on here, we were using um a way of getting the object that was kind of wrong. So what I'm going to do is just to try to get the tasks, and let's make oh, I'm wrong. I have been wrong since a lot of time ago. I don't have to put the task ID here. Oh my goodness. What I have to do is just to make a petition. Okay, okay. Wow, this is incredible. But at least you learned something new. You learned that you can see the object from the database just like an object, and that is important. Okay, there are many developers that if they don't see this object, they don't believe that I did what is down here because they are very database oriented, and that's okay. I mean, we have the right to think as we want. I mean, every one of us has his own way of thinking, and we have to respect that. And for those who were arguing or questioning if this was actually from the database, yes, you can see that this was actually from the database because this is the object. And that is what I'm showing here. Even though it was kind of weird that I went directly, it is because I have experience, remember that. But here you can see the object. I could have shown you the object before, but this is not like a beginner, super beginner course. This is at least a semi-senior and senior course because I am a senior, and for certain people maybe a semi-senior. But the thing is that I didn't go to this object because I didn't need to see it for me to show it as I wanted because I have done this many times in my whole life. Okay, so let's you see, this app is going to be easier than you think. What I'm going to do is just to put that I want to add a task. And that's it. I don't even need to make like a AJS petition or a scheme or something like that. Nothing like that. I just need to put here that I want to add. The button here is to add. Let's refresh. And you see, for example, sadly, it does not show the button as it was. But if I put the mouse over it, it says add on the link. Let me show it to you here. You can see. You see, this says add. What I'm going to do is that you see, this I don't like that it disappears. Let's try to fix that. Let's put. You see that color? That's okay, but we have a color that we want to add, and it's the color of the button. But that color of the button should be also on the span. So let's try to go to the span here, and let's make an style color inherit. What does inherit mean? Inherit is like inherit the color that is above. And that's it. You see, that is working as I want. And now it has another course side, but that was what I want. Okay, we have the first task done to make sure that it's stable. We have it to look for the petition code. Now we have to look for the petition code and modify the code correctly. We have been modifying the code, so now let's go for saving collection with Mongo and Atlas um, on Node.js. And that's it. Now let's go. You see here that this thing is kind of cool, but I don't like to use it much. I prefer to go to the main documentation. As you can see, this is given from the main database documentation. And in here, they have an schema. You can see it. After that, they make the model thing this is something that I also do. They install the Mongos. They install NodeMoon. I didn't install NodeMoon because NodeMoon is the thing that I told you that makes the refresh once and another thing. And I don't need that by the moment, okay? But then they connect to the database, prepare that they create a schema and put it on a model folder. Being honest, I just put that on a single archive, and it's the same thing. And after that, they create an object, uh, and that object they save it. That's it. Okay, now um, there is something that is missing there, and you can see it, but I can. What is it? And is that what I want to receive? You see this object here? I want to receive it from the client side. They are putting it from the code, and that's not bad. But I want to receive it from the client. So let's try to see if they have it here, but they let's see, no, they don't have it. No, they don't have that code. So let's go here and look for saving a collection from client side, and that's everything from client side to the backend or to the database. And this can be useful, but no, a tutorial. No, I don't want to see a tutorial. Building a REST API. No, nothing of this. Let's see. What are Mongo DB could explanation? Okay, this is kind of this could be table data. Let's go here. You see what is Mongo C? Middleware, error handling, validation, Mongo secret, operation, Mongo save, doc save. Document, okay, retrieve, update, delete. Now, being honest, we can use this one, but yes, we just have to make like this call here. I don't know if you get it, but we just make this call, and in here we pass the parameters, and we put the you see this, for example, this object, we will fill it with the data that we send from the client. We can even try that. Okay, just how to get input fields to server side with Node.js and HTML, and as simple as that. What I'm going to do is just to get the data. You see here, these inputs are the same that I have. What I'm going to do is just to go to, you see this server.js is the same as index.js that I have. And in here, when they get a path, they receive the the response and they work with it. As I told you before, they receive them like arguments, but in this case, instead of arguments, they are coming from the rec parameter. We just have to copy this, believe it or no, and we have to go down here, and in here I'm going to go.